Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the podcast show for the average Joe, The Wrestling Diaries. I'm your host, Mitchell Roulaine. Check us out on YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe, and more importantly, check us out on our audio streams, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Overcast, Radio Public, and a whole bunch of other. I've said this before, but I'm going to get a list one day. I'm just going to read it off because I can't ever remember this stuff. We have an awesome guest on today. When it rains, it pours sometimes. That was kind of corny. Sorry.
Okay. I'm hearing it in my head. When it rains, it pours. It rains, it pours.
We have an old acquaintance of mine and Matt's, Rain Kennedy.
And the crowd goes wild.
What's up, Rain?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. How are you?
Doing well. You're so giggly. It's great. And we talked about a lot of stuff before the show started. I wish we could have got some of that, so I might have to rehash some of it.
Let's do it.
So
I love rehashing.
Of fear of being redundant. So for people out there that don't know you, and a lot of our circle of friends all know you or know of you, tell the other people a little bit about you.
Okay. So there's so much that goes into that. I'll try to be brief. So I am a fitness coach. I teach. It's not CrossFit. We do barbell lifting, Olympic lifting, that kind of thing. And I've been doing that for about 3 years now. Before that, I was 191 pounds, 45.9% body fat. I was very overweight and in terrible shape. And I was like, 24, 25 years old. And I had a moment where I was like sick and tired of being sick and tired because I always just felt like garbage. And something told me that it was going to be through nutrition. And so that was when I was finishing up my biology degree at Alabama. I have a bachelor's of science in biology. It's the most useless degree you could ever get. But I learned a lot about the human body and nutrition and how it actually does work. And it changes you, who you are fully. And so in 2015 is when I really started, or beginning of 2016, was when I really started that journey. And in my first year of watching what I ate and trying to do things, I lost 50 pounds, which was awesome. And that was like the first time that I'd ever started really feeling good about myself. But then I kind of hit a plateau. And so I didn't know where to go from there. I'd been doing workouts on like Instagram and things like that. But I needed help. So I found the gym in Tuscaloosa. And that gym changed my life. That was the place where I learned that I was strong. I was capable. I was able to do things. And not only that, but I was inherently worthy because I was human. And that was something that I found just through the community and connecting with my coaches and having people that believed in me and loved me and supported me. And so I worked out there for probably a year and a half. I was a cake decorator at the time at a bakery in Tuscaloosa. And that had been my job for 11 years. So when you do something for 11 years, like cake decorating, you kind of become a master of it. There's that like rule of the 10,000 hours, right? I put my 10,000 hours in. I decorated cakes. And so it was something that I was good at, but it was like my comfort zone. And I reached that point in my life where I was like, okay, it's time to move on. I've done cakes. I've mastered this. What's the next challenge? Because that's kind of what I do. I never get satisfied. I just always want to grow and be better, which is a blessing and a curse. But that was the point in my life. I turned 26. I needed health insurance. My job didn't give it. Thank you, Obamacare. And so I was like, all right, right. So it was like my kick in the butt to move on, which is exactly what I needed. Universe pushed me into what I needed to do. And I decided that I wanted to be a coach at the gym that I worked at. And I applied and I got it. And 2.5 years later, so much blood, sweat, and tears. Like I learned so much, became a whole different person, learned what it was like to work with people who not only supported you, but encouraged you to grow and encouraged you to share that with other people. So one of our things that we said as a company was we measure our success by the success of others. And that's something that I really hold true to today. And another one was we develop ourselves to help others realize their potential. And that was another thing that really stuck with me. And through working with people, getting their fitness in shape and getting their nutrition in shape, I really started seeing the value in not only the physical body, but the mindset and everything that went with it. So yes, like your mindset, how you talk to yourself, but then also your connection with something deeper if you have that or not. And that could, whatever your background is, that could be relationships with people, that could be religion, whatever it is. But having a connection with something that means more than you and learning how to step outside of that and step into something bigger and to learn and to grow and to believe in something. That was what I really learned at the gym. And so 2.5 years in, fitness coaches don't get paid a lot of money. And we were at the point, oh no, not at all. We get paid enough. We always get enough. But I wanted to grow. I wanted something more. And so with cake decorating, having that skill, that was always the thing I relied on. I fell back on to make a little extra money. I did it out of my house. I called that my stripping through college. So I was always able to do better, right?
You're stripping.
Yes, I was always able to do cakes out of my house and make money that way.
You didn't ever pop out of a cake, did you?
No.
Okay. All right.
Still a dream if anybody wants to make that happen. But no. So I decided that was something that I wanted to pursue, that I wanted to open a business, a bakery, because I just feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I've always known that. I'm like, I'm not going to work for somebody else the rest of my life. So how can I do this in a way that is viable, that will make me money, that is something that I'm good at and that I like to do? And so I went the bakery route. I grew it out of my house. I had a really steady clientele. I worked with my job for over a year to plan a beautiful, easy departure, like making sure that it wasn't nasty because I love my company. And I did. I launched my bakery on March 16th of 2020. So I don't know if you have been on this planet, but that's when COVID hit. That was the day that Birmingham shut down. And I thrived. Like my business took off. It was ridiculous. It was so successful, I lost my mind. Like there was a point, because I was doing it entirely by myself. I had nobody. So I was baking everything. I was taking all the orders, taking all the payments. I was promoting it. I was trying to take pictures. I was trying to be like everything. And I lost it. I had 97 unread text messages on my phone. I had like all of these orders that I couldn't even take. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I freaked out. Yeah. So I shut everything down. And that was in June. And in June, that was when I really looked at my life and what I was doing with it. And yes, I was doing cakes. I was making money and I was miserable. And every part of my life, I was miserable. It's like I hated waking up every day. I hated looking at my phone. I hated it all. And so I was like, okay, I know exactly what it is I don't want. It's this life that I'm living right now. How do I start changing that? And something that I learned in the gym is if you don't have a goal that you're working towards, what are you doing? You get really lost. You're always running, but you end up running in circles. You don't actually make it to the finish line. And so I had to really sit back and I shut my life down for a month. I didn't work. I didn't do anything. I locked myself in the house. And I asked myself all the really hard questions of what is it that you do want? What does make you happy? What are the things that light you up? And I realized that it was being with people. It was working with people. It was helping them find health, which is so simple. It's so simple to be healthy. But with all of everything that you see that you're inundated with, you make it think it's so hard. You're like, well, I don't know what diet. I don't know what workout, blah, blah, blah. And it all comes down to you finding joy in each day, eating real food, moving, and having a higher purpose in life, being happy, finding joy, whatever that is for you. And so that was when, okay, that's what I love to do. Now, what do I do with that? And that's terrifying because that requires you being totally vulnerable. That requires you telling your story. That requires you having conversations, going outside of your comfort zone and being totally open with all of the mistakes you've made and how you fix them so that other people know it's okay to make a mistake. Because that's why we're here. It's all feedback. Nothing is bad. So I don't know. That's where we are now. So dropped every layer of my life, ended up closing the bakery down, left my relationship of 13 years, went to New York for 2 weeks, spent all of my money, came back. I was homeless, living in my car. I had negative $27 to my name and I had no job, nothing. And it was the most freeing time I've ever had because I was like, well, there's literally nothing I can do right now. So I'm just going to surrender this. I'm going to let the universe take care of me and all my friends. And that was when I really learned that all of the blood, sweat, and tears I had put in, all the connections I had made, all the time I'd put pouring into people, loving people, just because that's what I do. That's who I am. It really paid off. And everyone came through for me. Everything I needed was taken care of. I had a place to stay. Everything just ended up coming through. And I was able to get my feet back under me. I found my gym that I'm at now. And it has really been like coming home. And I say that because this gym is a place, it's called the Academy or Wheelhouse Academy. And it's all about learning. And the idea is that the more that we learn and the more that we can develop and grow, then the more that we can share that with other people. And it's that trickle down effect. So we teach an athlete and that athlete teaches their wife and their kids. And then we get this like legacy of health going. And it goes bigger than just the gym there. It's not just the workouts. It's not your score. It's about teaching you how to be healthy. And so it just perfectly aligns with everything that I'm doing. And it's just really reignited my passion for what I'm doing. And so I have been toying with the idea of launching like my own podcast for about 2.5 years now. And I've been really struggling with what that focus is. But 2020 definitely brought me a ton of clarity. And so stepping forward into 2021, I am a transformational life coach. That's what I do is I help you, right? I can help you kind of work through your stories. I can help you cut through all the bullshit, and I can help you figure it out what it is that you do, why you are here, and how you can support that purpose by being healthy and making the right choices and being the best you that you can be. That's me.
Jesus.
I said I'd keep it brief. Sorry.
Joseph. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode of the Wrestling Diaries. I'm your host. I got to take my jacket off. Like, I'm sweating from that.
Oh,
my
sorry.
God.
Yeah, you should have been there.
You're so energetic.
I am. That's
Matt,
my gift and my curse.
Matt, give me some cocaine real quick.
Ooh, you might get to my level then.
I was about to bring out a hamster wheel for her to run on it.
I actually worked out today already. I already went hard.
She's got so much freaking energy. Jesus Christ.
Because I coached the class this morning. I was with my people.
So I'm just going to go out on a limb here right now and say this. You, by far, are the most energetic being I've had on this show thus far.
I received that.
Seriously.
I work hard on that. Whew. Lots of self-care, lots of naps, lots of meditation.
It's really awesome, though. With that kind of energy that you have, I cannot imagine you not like going wherever you want to go and doing whatever you want to do in life. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's infectious too. Like I feel like I just ran like a 10K.
Me too. That was
just
invigorating.
by listening.
That was wonderful.
That's really awesome, though. You've done so much stuff. Let me ask you this though. Do you think that you'll ever get back into doing cakes and pastries and decorating and all that stuff again? Is that like
I'm so glad you asked.
Something that you think about for the future?
It is. And so here's another coaching thing because I learned so much in the gym and I think everybody can. As a coach, my job is to teach you to want to do better and how to do that, how to move better. And so for me, in that process, we have this concept called your coaching tool belt. It's all your tools that you can pull out to teach somebody. Like I can teach you probably 15,000 different ways to do a squat. Okay, maybe that's a lot, but I've got a bunch of ways to teach you how to squat, depending on where it is that you are in that process. And so you develop all these tools and you carry them with you and you do the same thing as an interviewer. You've got your little tools that you pull out. And so for me, with those tools in the tool belt, that's another concept that I've applied to my whole life. And so I'm like, okay, what are the things I'm really good at? Well, I'm really good at cake decorating. So I'll probably hold on to that tool. That's not for right now. That's not the job that I need it for right now. But like handstands, cartwheels, did those when I was a kid, loved them.
Real quick with the handstands. So we were talking earlier before the show started. You totally going to do one for us?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
She's going to do a handstand before we get her out of the studio, ladies and gents.
And hopefully I don't break anything. They call me Grace for a reason.
It's okay. Matt's got a lot of insurance on this place. So he doesn't. But go ahead. Continue on. I'm sorry.
Good to know. But no, so I've got all these tools in my tool belt. And so what it's come down to is, like I said, I know I'm going to be an entrepreneur. So when it comes down to, like, we're about to get real deep, the world as a whole, what has power? It's money. And Mother Teresa said one time, it takes a checkbook to change the world. And I fully believe that I've been given all of these tools and I've gone through all these experiences in my life so that I can build myself a legacy. Yes, I dropped my crystal. So that I can build my own legacy and I can build my own brand, build my own empire. And so that's what my Rain or Shine brand is. And so like you'll notice on different things, my bakery was Cakes Rain or Shine. My kind of like persona, my whatever is live rain or shine, because I want you to live rain or shine. Yeah, there's going to be bad days. There's going to be good days, but we still show up rain or shine. And so that's going to be carried through in my business model, which is going to actually end up being like the satellite of tons of different businesses. But one of those businesses will be Cakes Rain or Shine. And the idea is that Rain or Shine is an umbrella core. Get it? It's good.
What, like umbrella core? I don't know if I get it.
Resident Evil.
Oh,
it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's awesome. I never really got into Resident Evil.
So it's kind of an umbrella core that provides stability for other people to create their own businesses. So I know how to open a bakery. I know how to run a bakery. I know how not to do it. I also know that my key to doing that is going to be having other people do it for me and having other people carry out my vision. And so my job is to lead them and to inspire them to do that and teach them how to do that. So like the idea is that Umbrella Core would open, say Cakes Rain or Shine is the first business. That's where it starts. And so I bring on probably a woman, someone who's very strong, wants to open her own bakery, has always wanted to learn how to decorate cakes, but needs to learn how to decorate cakes.
Can I stop you right there real quick? So I have a friend, her name is Red. She's a cake decorator. It's funny because I was talking to her this morning and I was telling her about you and she goes, "Oh, really cool. I'd like to meet this person." She works at like Greenwise in Mountain Brook and then it's some other bakery in Mountain Brook as well. And so it would be great to link you to.
I would love to meet Red. Yeah.
She's super artistic too. Like she's just really good at like doing. I think she's been doing it for I don't know, like over a decade or something. Yeah. So yeah, I got to. I'd love to talk to her. Two gals I
got some people to send to her too because I've got people that need birthday cakes and I just feel bad. I can't do them right now. Just don't have the energy. But yeah, no. So like if it were Red, for example, she wants to open her own business. She knows how to decorate cakes, but she doesn't know the business side of it. I do. And so I can provide her a business structure for her to come in, learn how to run it. And she can run it for a year, maybe 2, and really learn the ins and outs. And once she has done that, kind of like school, it's business school, but it's school while in business. Then at the end of that, partner with her and invest with her and help her open her own business and have her help me train the person that comes in behind her. So it becomes this legacy of growth. And so that way I can help other people grow their own businesses and learn from my mistakes in a way that helps all of us. And so if we can all have our businesses that are modeled after that, because it just works when you do it that way, then you can see that there could be that trickle down effect within the business world. And so we could see a huge rise in people that are empowered, that are responsible in the way that they carry out business and conduct their life, and also give hope and inspiration to people that you can make a business out of whatever it is, your thing that you do. If you love talking to people, you can make your business a podcast. If you love baking, we can do that. If you love yoga, meditation, we can do that too. And kind of teaching you how to do that. And there's so much more to that vision, but that's kind of like my mindset and how it is moving forward in everything that I do. That's the end goal. That's where we're going. So bakery's on pause and we're developing the influence to get the status to make all that happen.
All right. So before you leave today, you're going to be doing a handstand and I'm going to give you the information and get you 2 gals to connect. You're welcome, Red.
Yes. Thank you, Red. I'm excited.
What are your current plans for the future? Like, what are your goals that you have set? Are you one of those people that makes a vision board? I bet you are.
It's on my to-do list. So I'm actually really bad about it. So I have all these things that I know really help me, and vision board is one of them. And I just haven't made the time to do it yet. And actually, I've carved out all of tomorrow to do nothing but sit at my house and do things like make a vision board. Yeah. No, so a vision board is a way for you to put your intentions out into the world. And that goes back to you crafting what it is that you do want. So even if it's just like a subliminal thing where if you can see a goal in front of you, you're more likely to hit it. That's what a vision board is. So if you want a nice new car because whatever you drive, it's not reliable and you're like, no, I can't do it anymore. I recently manifested a car off my vision board from last year, by the way. But no, so like you have that in your head and you're like, no, okay, these are the things that I need to do. These are the changes that I'll need to make in my life. And gradually, step by step, you end up making it happen. And that's like an easy example as a car, but in all ways, you can do that by visualizing and setting intention. So it can be a vision board, it can be daily meditations. I actually have a piece of paper in my room. It's like a big poster paper, and I write my affirmations on it because I do believe affirmations and gratitude are a huge part of what makes the world go round. That's definitely January of 2020 was when I really made a practice of journaling, doing affirmations and doing gratitude and reminding myself every day of what it is that I want, what it is that I am, what it is I believe, what it is I deserve, and what I want to call in. And it's funny you ask that because I was looking back at my journal from January of last year, just to kind of recap, see how far I've been, because I think we've all been so far in 2020. But every single intention that I set for January, and I kind of forgot I did it, I to a T, filled it out. I developed the yoga and meditation practice that I intended to set out, and it's changed my life. I ruthlessly pursued the opening of my bakery. I may have closed it and learned a lot of things. I didn't know what that intention actually looked like, but I did it. And that was something that I changed my mindset. And so I changed my life and it changed my world. And it was like every single point on that list came true. So now that I have that faith in myself, I'm like, okay, that all happened. Yeah, I sat down and I journaled the hell out of 2021. And 2021 for me is the year where everything is starting to come together. So I know I can see all the pieces of my life, all the transformations that I've gone through have been preparing me up to this point in my life, as I think you could say for any point in your life. But I know that right now, the growth that I've made, the changes that I've made, and the connections that I've made are all in line with the clarity that I've received, which is live, rain, or shine, to be a coach, to inspire, to lead, to have these conversations, to do this, the important stuff.
Live, rain, or shine.
Yeah.
Totally needs to be a t-shirt.
Right?
I'd wear it. Would you wear that, Matt?
Right as rain.
Right as rain. There's another. We could do these.
There's so many
puns on your name. Like
there's so many.
The
Don't even get into songs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I've thought like I've ran like multiple songs in my head. I'm trying my best.
I almost wore purple.
Nice. Purple rain. Bada bum bum. I bet you've been getting that your whole life.
Whole life.
Like
rain, rain, go away.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I opened up with a corny joke.
It's cool. Yeah. I love them.
Oh, well, there you go. Then you're welcome.
Okay. You want one?
Yeah, go ahead.
What washes up on little tiny beaches? Microwaves.
Microwaves. Oh. You should write a big book of puns.
Oh, there's a lot.
Matt's actually laughing. He never laughs at any of my jokes.
I know. It's like I cracked a smile out of the century.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, she's just funnier than you, I guess.
Oh, I received that.
You, Matt. Jesus.
I'm fired.
He's fired. So, Rain, tell me about the podcast you're going to do, because that, like everything about you interests me, but that specifically interests me because obviously it's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I love that. And so another tenet that I hold to, and it's from our company, is we collaborate to innovate. And so it's like the more that we can have these connections, the more that we can talk through this, like, hey, what are you facing? What are issues that you're coming up with? How are you doing this? The more that we can grow together. Because that was a major mindset shift of mine, was realizing that the universe is inherently abundant. There is enough to go around. And the more that we can get out of that lack mindset, that scarcity mindset of, oh, well, there's not enough followers, or if she gets this attention, then I won't have it. When we can let that go, because it's not true, that's human, that's fear, which serves us for certain things, but it's not something we need it when it comes to growth. Like fear comes to get you away from the lion. It doesn't serve you to carry through in day-to-day life. So with the podcast, it's all about collaborating with people in a way that puts their stories out there. So the name I've come up with is Real Talk, Rain or Shine, because it's just real talk with real people. And it's about their struggles and what they overcome and the transformations that they make. Because I believe that, yeah, we're all different. And what is it about you that is different? Because that's your gift. What is the thing that you've had to really struggle with? And it's like your mess is your message. There's so many ways to say it. But like the things that you've really had to fight through and that you've learned how to own, that's what you're here to share with people. And so even if it's not your job to stand in front of people all day, being a life coach or inspiring people, if I can get your story out there, there's someone out there that has gone through exactly what you're going through, and they need that inspiration. They need that hope. They need someone to expand their vision and let them know that, yeah, you can live different. This may be how you've been up until now, but it is possible to rise above, because once we know that it's possible to do something, we as humans get fixated on it and we end up figuring it out. So if I can get you fixated on something good, not measuring yourself up to everybody else and how they failed, if I can help you measure up to how you could succeed like another person, then that's where value lies. And the more that I can get that out there, the more people I can reach, because we all hear things a different way.
Since we've started doing this podcast, I guess middle part of last year, I've had like a couple of like personal messages sent to me from people, some people that I know, but a lot of them were strangers, people that I'd never spoken to, I don't know. And they listened or watched the podcast here, and whatever guest I had on, like it's something that like rang with them, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, like, hey, I know you don't know me, but that show that you did with so-and-so, that really helped me, because I didn't realize that like somebody else was dealing with the same bullshit that I was dealing with. And so it really kind of helped me like hear their struggles and stuff like that. And like, I feel like I'm going to have a good outlook on overcoming it. And I'm paraphrasing a lot of this, and I was like, wow, I thought about that, but to actually see it happen, like I don't know, it's a very inspiring thing, for somebody to be touched by somebody else's story. I said this on the last show, but like C.S. Lewis has a quote where he said like the best, like how you've met a really good friend is when you're like, oh, you too? I thought only but me. And that's a real thing, because it's happened to me before, right? I've heard people that have struggled with some of the stuff I have struggled with. And I was like, wow, I thought like mine was only so unique and specific, but this person's dealing with it. So maybe I can overcome this. Not to get too positive, inspiring on here. But
Why not? Get positive, get inspiring. We all need that every now and then. It's okay to accept that. It's okay to feel good.
sorry, I'm a bit of a cynic though too.
I was for a very long time, and that was something I had to let go. I was like, you know what? No. I was always the kid that loved unicorn and rainbows. Like literally my nickname growing up was Rainbow. And it's
There's
still
another one.
right?
We should do like a pun counter on this episode, Matt. Bing, bing, bing. Every time a pun's made on her name. He's not going to do that because he has to do extra work, but it'd be funny.
Oh, it would be so worth it though.
Uh-oh. Ryan's asking you to
Challenge, throw it down the
do
gauntlet.
it. A pretty girl's asking you to do it. You got to do it, bro. Anyways, go on.
More often than not, yeah. What were you even talking about? Oh, yeah. So what you were describing, that impact that you have, that someone realizing that is what I'd call empathy. That is compassion. That is really, truly being able to feel what someone else feels and learn from that and grow. And that is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And I, honest to God, believe that's what's hugely missing right now in our society is empathy.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about walking in someone else's shoes. And I mean this for everybody, all sides of the coin, all the way around. So many people are so quick to judge and jump on their teams. And
it's really easy to get offended when you're always looking for a reason to be offended.
That offends me.
It's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay
me.
with you being triggered because I would ask you to dig deeper and say, why are you being triggered?
How dare you trigger
Why does
me,
that offend
hyper
you?
lady? Oh my gosh, you're delightful. I can't believe that. So for anybody also wondering, which I'm sure you're not, who cares? I'm telling you anyway. This is like the longest conversation you and me have ever had, I think.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
It is. No, it definitely is.
I've literally known you for, I don't know, over a decade and a half, maybe. I'm not really certain on the timeline, but a long
13 years.
I remember when you were going to shows and you had the long hair
at the punk rock mullet,
and then the shaved back, and then like the multicolors.
So you want to know a secret?
What's that?
I did that myself. That's why it looks so shaggy and punk rock.
I don't know. Well, you did a good job.
Thanks.
You did a good job decorating it.
I was definitely a little punk kid. I say the mosh pit was probably the first place where I found power. That was like the first time that I was able, because I was always like an overweight kid. I was never secure in myself at all in any way. And finding the scene, whatever you want to call it, that was the first time that I felt powerful. Because I was bigger than everybody, like all the other girls, and I could beat the crap out of people, and it was fun, and we had fun doing it. You know, it was like that shared energy of we're all here to let out whatever it is we want to let out. We are mad. Hear me roar. I want to move. I want to stomp. And looking back from my viewpoint now, I'm like, no, that was me being true to myself. That was me having issues that I wanted to work out. And that was beautiful. And that's something that like, I don't know kids nowadays that go to punk shows and do that. Do you?
I definitely do not.
So how do they get an outlet? What's their communication? How do they connect with people?
Yeah, feel bad for them.
I don't know. I do. I feel real bad.
Did you smash a bunch of like young teenage girls when you were doing this?
No, they were never in the pit. They were always too scared. Bunch of young teenage boys, yeah. Broke a few noses.
Really?
Yeah.
She's dangerous. Gosh, she's so
That's
dangerous.
why I lift weights now. Yeah. It's a little more constructive.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, but no. And so like the reason we never had a conversation before was I was still very insecure. And so if we weren't friends, I didn't talk to you because I don't know, I guess I didn't feel like I was cool enough to have a conversation.
I feel like we were friends by affiliation.
Oh,
at
absolutely.
Least.
Absolutely.
Because you were with the guy I was friends with and you were friends with the friends I was friends with. And
exactly.
Friends.
Okay. And so there's a great point right there. So like that's something that I've figured out this year is like what actually is a friend? What does that mean? And it's like in my head, it was always the people that my boyfriend was friends with because I let my friends go for whatever reason because I didn't have that deep level of connection. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to have conversations with people and truly
I feel like
connect.
you've got no problem with it now, lady.
Lots of work, dude.
Yeah, that's apparent. I know so many guys too in our circle that had crushes on you. I'm not going to give any names. But
what?
Yeah.
I never knew.
They're like, hey, you know that Rain chick? And I was like, yeah. She's like this dude's girlfriend. They're like, oh my God, love her.
I received that. See, so there's another story. When I was in high school, I never dated a single dude at my high school. I never thought I was attractive at all. Old boyfriend, he was the first one.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we dated for 13 years, got married and everything. But yeah, no, that was the total story I had. I never thought I was attractive in any way. And I didn't find that until March last year.
Whoa.
Right?
Why is that? Why didn't you think you were attractive?
All the stories that I had.
Yeah,
all the stories in my head. And I didn't have that feedback. I didn't have a way for anybody to tell me that in a positive way. I didn't have positive role models. I didn't have people that were like, you know, that you were just beautiful. I mean, like my mom did, you know, and my family, but we don't ever listen to our parents until we get older.
Unfortunately. And then you're like, oh, now I get it.
She was so right about so many things.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah.
But no, I didn't have that. I had more evidence of me being not worthy and being rejectable or being, that's not a word. Easy to reject by society. I coined it, rejectable.
Yeah.
It's
a word now.
Yeah, it's a word. Put it in the dictionary, in the pun book. But now I had more evidence of that from being rejected so many times by so many people for so many different things in my life. I was overweight. I had acne. I wasn't cool. I didn't have money, like grew up poor. Like all of these stories that we tell ourselves that we're not good enough. Like, no, I didn't drive a nice car in high school. I didn't have whatever it was that at that time I thought was important. And it's only been in 2020 that I realized, no, what's important about me is me. It's who I am. It's how I see things. It's how I love people. It's how I have learned to overcome things. It's how I know how to fight and I know how to learn and grow. That's what makes me valuable. It's not anything to do with anything else. And I've had to really lean into that and my faith in myself, which is a new thing. I've had to lean into that to be able to get to the point where I can sit here and have this conversation with you today. Because if we had been sitting here a year ago, it wouldn't be anything like this. There'd be nothing. Like, it's ridiculous how much the limiting stories hold us back from stepping into who we are. And it's ridiculous how much people around us can see who we are, but we don't see it. And yeah, no, it's cool. I received that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you were absolutely welcome, Rain. You were absolutely welcome.
My abs are coming back.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
I've been on my nutrition lately.
That's good.
That whole homeless thing threw it off.
Yeah, so
Anyways.
There was a cut there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even going to lie. Not going to lie. Matt had to take a dump. I'm kidding. It was me. Anyway, don't cut this out. She thinks it's funny. See? I am funny. So you, Matt. I edited myself, so you don't have to do it.
So hostile.
Yeah, this is what we do. It's our thing, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you. We try. You know what? What's going to be great in the future when we actually start doing like Wrestling Diary merch? I want to do like one of me. I'll have to like, I don't know, bribe him, but I want to do one of me and Matt like holding each other with a wreath around us.
So,
you know, we need to stay, because you believe in all of this positivity and you know, life is happening for you, not to you. We need to stay connected then, right? You are the 5 people you surround yourself around. Jim
absolutely.
Rohn. Didn't think I know that, did you? Yeah, I've read a couple of books, lady.
Good.
But yeah, we definitely should. And then, you know, you get connected with my friend Red. Also, I have a friend, this really, really sweet Jewish lady named Sarah, who is a transformational life coach herself here in Birmingham.
Yes, I would love to meet her.
She was actually on the podcast. Her husband is a doctor for UAB, and he wrote a book, and they're just really awesome people. They're really fun. And at some point, I'm going to get him on the podcast as well. But I should definitely link you up with them as well. Yeah, I know them through my other friend Matt. The guy that does the martial arts. So he goes to synagogue with them. So,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
that'd be fun.
Awesome.
I didn't know there were more of us.
Yeah. We're there. We're hidden. You know, these little Easter eggs. So, Miss Kennedy, Rain, what are some of the things that you personally? I mean, you've really changed your life around. I think that's very, very, very apparent for anybody listening to this show or watching it, people that have known you and people that are just getting the pleasure to know you through this podcast, that you've really overcame a lot of adversity. But what are the things now that you wrestle with? What are the demons that are in your closet and on your bed that you're fighting with, my dear?
So for me now, and this is like such a good problem to have. It's like a first world problem. And I'm so grateful that that's where I am in my life now. I am too good at too many things. And so it's been focus and clarity and really nailing down what it is that I need to do right now. And so just to go off on another tangent, let's do it. So I was diagnosed a year and a half ago with, I call it raging ADHD.
Okay.
And so I see it as a superpower because now I know what it is and I know how to work with it. But I also recognize now how many ways that it has caused anxiety, stress, and even like little t trauma in my life. And it caused me to be very untrusting of myself and to not trust what I believe and what I know to be true. Also with lots of other shadow and everything else that goes along with being a woman in society today. But for me, it's been really getting clear on not necessarily doing the things that I feel like I should do or the things that other people tell me that I should do because I'm good at them, but being able to really trust myself and step into, no, this is what I believe I should do, what I want to do. And so Christmas was my last cake order, my last cookie order. That was the last one. And that was a decision that I struggled with all of 2020 because that was my security blanket. That's what I had to fall onto. That was my comfort zone. And as you know, nothing good lies in your comfort zone. You got to step out of it. You have to step into the fear. You got to lean into those things that terrify you. And so leaning into that fear is something that I'm really good at. That's how I can transform and do different things. But also leaning into that fear has been something that I have done blindly up until now. And so I have not wasted, but I've expended a lot of energy going down routes that don't serve me. And so I know now that those things, it was not a waste of my time. It was not a waste of energy or anything like that. It was a learning experience. But now trying to channel what those learning experiences are going to be. And so that way I'm not doing the same thing over and over again. And learning how to be wise about where it is that I want to focus, because where your focus goes, it grows, right? Wherever it is you put your intention. And so this year it's been allowing myself to be like, you know what? I don't know any transformational life coaches. Might know one now. But I don't know anybody that's been successful doing what I want to do, which is growing a social media presence, using that influence to help other people, doing a YouTube channel, getting the podcast, getting all that up and going. That has been my biggest fear. And so for me, the biggest thing I've been struggling with is letting go of the safety and stepping into what it is I know I'm born to do, what it is I'm here to do right here, right now, versus what it is that's always kept me safe. That's my struggle at the moment.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because now I know what it is. I've got that focus. So it's like now I'm ready to go forward 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've really pardon my crudeness. You've really taken your life by the balls, Rain.
Yeah. I like crudeness.
Big time.
Yeah, that's human. It's not crude. It's human. Yeah.
If you had a telephone time machine, you could pick it up and you call yourself 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, however many years ago, when you felt ugly and fat or, not good enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not whatever enough, telephone time machine, boom, you're on it. You call yourself. She answers, "Hey, it's Rain. Hi." And
Is that what I sound like?
Then you answer with your like sultry, raspy woman voice that you have, your velvety voice. You're like, "Hey, girl, what do you say?"
So many things. How much time you got? Where are we? No. Because I'm thinking back to myself then, and I wouldn't have listened to anything I said. So it's like, what small thing could I do to make an impact? So I would teach myself about inner child work first off, but no, I wouldn't have done that. I would have really wanted to teach or to impart to myself, number one, that I was beautiful, but not because of my physical appearance or anything, but because of who I was. But at that time, I was not that person. I was still really dark. I was scared. I was lost. I was small. So to be quite honest, at that point in time, I would have told myself to drink more water and sleep more, like really and truly, because that was a point in my life where I really felt like my worth was determined by how much I could work, how hard I could go, how much I could be better than somebody else, how I could be perfect. Like it was straight A's or nothing. It had to be this way. The cake has to be perfect. Like everything about my life had to be perfect. And as a result, nothing was perfect. It was all just a disaster. And that came from this like stress and this anxiety that came from being really unhealthy, not sleeping enough, not taking care of myself, and not having enough energy to meet my own basic needs so that I could grow. So at that point in time, 10 years ago, I didn't know what real food was. I had no idea that food influenced your body composition, or even beyond that, that food could make you feel good, that food could make you feel really bad, and that the food that I was eating made me feel like crap. I would have told myself that drinking 6 Diet Dr. Peppers a day is not something that a human body can be made of, to drink some water, and that I couldn't survive off of 2 hours of sleep, because that was something I didn't know was a thing. I was like, oh, well, I feel fine. I'm making it. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. Must be okay. I didn't really know the consequences of all the habits and the small steps that I took every day that were really piling on to making a mess of a person. I was just so unhealthy on so many levels because I didn't know. So I probably would have told myself to be healthy, or how to be healthy, so that I could have that baseline energy reserve to tap into myself. Because at that point in time, I was stuck in survival mode. I was like high adrenaline, high cortisol all the time. I was always stressed out. And when you're always stressed out, you literally can't calm down. And when you can't calm down, if you can't ever find that peace within yourself, then you never are able to really grow and flourish. When you're surviving, you can't thrive. And that's what I would have told myself. Drink more water, sleep more.
What do you think she listens to you? Does she listen to you?
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't listen?
No, Rain's really hard-headed.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a story we've let go.
But you don't think that she would be like, oh, but you're from the future, and maybe I should listen to you because you're future me. You're smart. You got this raspy voice.
Probably not. I didn't listen to nobody, man. Yeah. Learned it all the hard way.
Yeah. Sometimes being too punk rock can hold you back, right?
Yeah. That I was. Go figure it out,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. That's my gift and my curse.
Well, who knows? You know, maybe she, I don't know, maybe it takes something deep down inside her and pulls it out. And maybe not.
Maybe. And we could get on this whole timeline conversation. We could just go down another rabbit hole. But we won't. We'll save that for another day.
Sure.
We'll do another episode, Spirituality in the Universe According to Rain.
You are like absolutely incredibly energetic and infectious, my dear. You really are. And I'm so glad I got you on the show.
Thank you. Oh, and something I want to go back to. So you were saying that I inspire you. And so something that I feel really important is to let other people know what impact they've made in your life, right? Because that's how you know that this is something worth doing. So you are inspiring me, and I'm not even kidding here. I was like, oh my God, Mitchell's got a podcast? Hell yeah. And so it's been like, that was definitely one of those little seeds, because I've known about it for a while. I was like, well, if you can do it, I can do it. You expanded me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was like,
you got to do it. You better do it, lady.
I was like, no, this is something that we can do. So thank you for inspiring me.
You are so welcome. Thank you. And you're welcome and all this other stuff. You got to be careful though. Matt doesn't like it when pretty girls give me compliments. So we might have to cut this.
Matt, I really like your Verse shirt. I can tell it's vintage. I appreciate that.
Champs.
Yeah.
Nice. This has been really awesome. Have you had fun?
I've had so much fun.
I can't imagine you not, because I feel like you're like that kid that gets to go to Disney World for the first time.
Every day.
And that's the energy that you brought to the table today.
Because that's how I start my life every day now. So we brought up the headstands. So why do I do headstands? So I have learned the importance of owning my day from the beginning. Like from the second my feet hit the floor, I am in control of my mindset and how I view the world. That's how you keep the world from happening to you. It happens for me. So if I'm able to set it's kind of like my mental temple. I'm able to set that up strong in a way that serves me and is for me every day before I leave the house, then negative things from around me don't affect me. Like I get stuck in traffic, I'm like, cool, gives me time to check my Instagram. Been needing to post this story anyway. So it's like how you shift your mindset starts with how you start your day. So that was a big part of 2020 and finding out what it is that I do want in my life. And I want to control. My whole life, I woke up and I was like, how fast can I get out the door? Literally used to have a game. Can I leave the house in 15 minutes and still have everything I need? Yep, sure can. And that included making a smoothie, getting my gym bag, putting clothes on, and having a change of clothes for work after that. Like I was the superwoman. I found out how to do everything. But I hated it. I woke up immediately every day, fight or flight mode. It was like you take off on a race and you always feel like you're in a race. That's that rat race people talk about. And so I realized how important it was to be like, no, I don't want my mornings to be that way anymore. I don't want to be stressed out. I know that I don't need to talk to people until I've been awake for 2 hours. I know that about myself. And what am I doing in those 2 hours to set myself up to be really ready to talk to people, to be happy to see people when I do come out of that? And so what that looks like for me is, number one, I have to have my coffee. And it's like this lion's mane coffee. It's got mushrooms in it. It's great for your brain. It's got lion's mane and chaga, so it's very antioxidizing. Four Sigmatic, if y'all want to sponsor me, I'm totally down. Got a couple of other ones. But now I have my coffee, which also, it's a bulletproof coffee, so it's good for your brain. It helps you get into a fasted state and into ketosis, which is a very clean burning energy system. So I'm very clear-minded when I wake up. I don't have brain fog. It's not that I'm trying to remember things. It's I know exactly what I can think about, which was a really cool state to get into. But I have my coffee and I move my body. I need to stretch. I need to get back into my skin because for some reason, when I go to sleep, I wake up and I'm on a whole nother planet. I'm like, wait a minute, this is Earth. I have to remember how to human and do this again. So it's like when I can remember what it feels like to stretch my ankles, when I can feel my calves moving, when I'm like, oh, I'm really sore from that workout yesterday. That's my moment to me to discover what's going on in my body. How can I better take care of myself today? Because if I wake up feeling good, I'm going to go for a hard workout. But if not, I'm going to do some yoga and do some headstands. And so I started doing the headstands probably in August, September, somewhere in there. And that was like huge turning point in my life. That was when I left the relationship, lost the house, let go of the house and replanted into where I was. And like I said, just all of growth and transformation is having a goal to focus on. And so my goal has been in my life to have fun because that is something that I've not allowed myself to do ever. Not since I was a kid. I thought I had to work. I didn't know I was allowed to have fun and that was actually good and healthy for me. So I started doing headstands. It's like, you know what? Nope. I want to get better at my handstand walks. I've actually injured my shoulders doing a couple of things in the gym, and holding a static position like that is really healthy for your shoulders and healthy for any body joint or any joint. And you can build muscle that way. So it was a way to, number one, help support me in the gym so that I could continue to do the sport that I love. But it's just fun getting upside down and it gets your blood circulating in a whole new way. It just really wakes you up. And it's amazing how 6 to 7 minutes of being upside down a day really does just like wake you up and you're ready for the day. And that's where this energy comes from. Yeah.
Cannot wait to see this in the flesh. Like I've watched you do it in videos. And I'm so excited. I'm stoked.
I can't promise I won't fall over. I'm not warm.
Hey, it's fine. We'll take multiple takes if we have to. It's no big deal. Rain, tell people how they can, I guess, get a hold of you and tell them about your creative projects and all this other stuff. How can people get into what you're offering right now?
Yeah. So first off, come work out with me at my gym. That's how you get to know me and it's fun. And I can actually teach you how to move your body. But no, follow me on Instagram. So I'm at Live, Rain or Shine. And right now it's just been documenting my journey because I'm still, like I said, getting my feet under me and figuring out what it is my workflow and my new life is that I'm stepping into. But the podcast is in the works now. That's what we're developing. So I'm really hoping to get that out there, honestly, by the end of February. And so if you can follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, whichever it is that you use, I'll continue to keep you updated on that. And I'd love for you guys to journey along with me, try some headstands, do my stretches. I've got lots of tips and lots of journaling prompts and things that I kind of put out there every day. It's things that I'm working through, my struggles of the day, and how do I spin it and put a light on it. So follow me and help me live, rain or shine.
Nice. Rain, you are a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
Beautiful in all aspects of the word. I really mean that.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Just give you the little thing there. Ladies and gentlemen, I usually give like a final thought on these like Jerry Springer, but I feel like it doesn't really need anything. Like I feel like everything that Rain has said I can't really say anything really, you know? She kind of took the reins, and I feel like anybody listening to this can really take a lot away from it. A lot of good stuff away from it. She's a very infectious personality, and I challenge people to try to even at least be, 50% of this, a quarter, if nothing else, right? Thank you for being on the show today, Rain. I really appreciate it. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, and all the other platforms that host audio podcasts. Also, YouTube for the video content. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And, show us some love, Show us some love. I want to know, have you ever seen rain? coming by on a sunny day. What do you wrestle with, and how can you beat it? One love.